Hey everybody, and again, welcome to my channel. Thank you for watching, and of course, subscribe if you haven't, and give it a thumbs up. Let me know your thoughts, comments, ideas, everything. Uh, I love it. I think it's great, and again, thank you. So, I wanted to do this video. I thought it was so amazing. So, my friend Diana, I hope you're doing great. Thank you so much for your input and dialogue. I really value our chats, and I learn a lot from them. And you're brilliant, by the way. So she had a very great question about autism, and I wasn't very familiar with autism. Um, I do have a couple friends whose kids are autistic, but I never actually really understood what that meant until maybe the last few weeks. And I've done a lot of reading and research, and I just feel more now when the word comes up, I feel like I understand more. So, from what I understand, now I'm going to show you some statistics real quick. Now, this is specific to the United States, but autism has been increasing, and Diana mentioned this too. So, and what's causing this, and is there a spiritual reason or connection behind that? And then I'll get to that part next. But I want to show you these statistics because I think they're really um, they're telling of something, and I think it's a great call out. So take a look at this chart here. Okay, so here is the statistics for the United States, and this is from the CDC government website for autism, and they've been tracking it over the past 25 years roughly. Now you can see there's a very noticeable increase here, and it is continuous and continues to increase consistently year after year. So you see right around here, 2000 to 2022, when they started tracking this, 1 in 150 children was born with autism. And I believe, so as how they're defining this, at some point in their lives were on the spectrum. So not necessarily, with severe cases or medium or even like mild cases. In some cases, go away throughout a lifetime. And it's something that's not well understood as far as what causes it or what causes it to stay, or why some cases are more mild or severe than others. Something that they're still exploring. But as far as those that have been documented as being on the spectrum somewhere, that's what these numbers represent, if I'm not mistaken. Then you see in 2004, 1 in 125. So there are in 125, so the number is getting greater, in other words. Now 1 in every 110, 188, 68, 69, and you can see it keeps gradually, the number gets smaller, but of course what that means is more children are showing signs of being on the spectrum. This is as of 4 years ago, so I don't know what the data is in the past 3 or 4 years. This is the most recent that they're sharing, but 1 in 36 now. I mean, look at that increase. That's like a 5-fold increase over the past 20 to 25 years. Now, 1 in every 36 children in the United States, and again, this is just the U.S., show signs of being on the spectrum. So, very visible and very measurable and trackable statistics that we're seeing here. So, when you go through the website and it kind of explains what the causes are, again, they don't really know. This is something they're still trying to understand and put together. And right now it's just kind of classified. There's a variety of symptoms and severities. Also, possible causes. There's a lot of speculation on what causes this sort of thing. And I asked the question, what exactly is causing? My exact question, I believe, what is the number one cause? If you had to categorize it, what would be the number one thing that's causing this gradual increase in autism over the past 20 to 25 years? And the answer was diet. So the number one thing that has the largest effect on why we're seeing this increase, and again, there could be more, but this was the number one answer from what I was told. Food and, liquids that we're drinking and eating. And not just feeding to our kids, but also ourselves. So it can, for example, from generation to generation, as we become accustomed to new diets, our physiology can change or be passed on. Help, not help, but help create the, what am I trying to say? The conditions for autism to be more prevalent in their kids. And in other words, it can be passed on from one generation to the next. But diet, so whatever it is, and I've only begun to do a little bit of research on this, and if there's anything that can be traced to what's changed here in America as far as what we eat and drink on a day-to-day basis. And initially, I know processed foods is a big part of it. So from the data that I've been going through so far, what I can see, one of the main changes that we've experienced here in this country over the past quarter century, roughly, is an increase in processed food intake. So I imagine there's a connection there, but I don't have anything more beyond that yet. But I'll continue to try and research that and then share this information. Now, there's another great question too that Diana had asked as well. Is there a connection between autism and children, like indigo children or indigo people? And what that is so it is people who come into this world that are more tuned into vibrationally and more in sync, more sensitive to, and more perceptive of spiritual energy. And the word comes from, I believe, so there's 7 main chakras, I think. So chakras are like points in our body, main like spinning vortexes of energy. And there's 7 colors: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo. So from top to bottom, and then indigo is like right here, like where our third eye is, and then violet is like our crown chakra, which kind of opens up towards the sky. And remember, these are physical, and you can see them. There's practices, there's exercises you can do online to gradually train your physical eyes. And I've done this, and it's true. And I challenge and invite you to try it for yourself. You can start to see these things with practice, and then you start to see like faint outlines of energy kind of emanating off trees and other forms of life. But these things, they're just part of our physiology. And there's a variety of theories about what they are and how do they connect to our vital organs, and how you can even diagnose sickness by being able to see and analyze energy at this level. But before I get too far off topic, so indigo, that's our 6 chakras right here, our main chakra. There's a whole bunch more than the main 7, but this one is colored indigo, which is kind of like a purple color, I think, or bluish purple. But either way, represents your third eye or connection to the spiritual realms and or psychic abilities, for example. So people that are more open to this tend to have more indigo in their field of energy for that reason. So that's where the term comes from. Now, the question is if there's a relationship here. I thought this is a great question again, because personally, because a lot of people think the indigo wave of people, there's a split here that we need to recognize as far as like ideologies or theories, and that is like reincarnation. So some people believe in reincarnation and some people don't. So in other words, the answer would be then whichever one you believe. Personally, I don't believe in reincarnation. I think this is our first, we're brand new souls here, and then we cross over into the afterlife and live forever. But this is it. Like your version of you is the first version of you. I think that's cool and exciting, but that's my belief. So, but regardless of whether you believe we are reincarnated or a brand new life, we can still be born with like more indigo in our auras, and for example, and more of a connection with your third eye or the spiritual realm. So it's possible. And is there a reason for this? And there's always an answer to that sort of thing. So if there's more people being born at a certain time that are more sensitive, spiritually sensitive for whatever reason, then there's definitely a reason for behind that. Now, from what I understand, so I'd ask the question, like, for example, is there any connection between, this increasing generations of people being born with autism and their sensitivity to like spiritual energy, non-physical energy? And the answer was actually no. So not that we're aware of, nothing that they can track to. In other words, there's no like connection there, and people with autism don't necessarily have more. They may be a lot of times are more creative, which is more of your mental capacity versus your physical abilities, and of course, it's non-physical or mental or spiritual energy that we connect with to the spiritual realm. So, but there doesn't seem to be any connection at all as far as what's occurring with autism and those people, whether or not they have the ability to see or hear or feel anything beyond the ordinary. So that's my understanding of it, and that's what I found out, and so that's kind of where I'm at with that. And again, I think it's a great question. So what's causing this? Just to kind of summarize everything, this massive increase over the past 25 years, there's some sort of connection to food and diet that affects not only what we're feeding our kids, but of course that can be passed on from parent to child and generation to generation. So whatever that is, I hope it becomes more and more clear and manifest in our scientific data so we can help correct that and address that kind of thing. But that's what I believe is causing it. And then is there any connection between the ability, people who are born on the spectrum or remain on the spectrum, their connection to the spiritual realms? And there doesn't appear to be. So in general, I believe that sort of thing, it's just like any talent. Some people can be born, natural singers. Some people have to develop it. So that sort of thing, like with spiritual gifts or psychic abilities, I think some people are just born tuned in, or you can practice it. It's like a skill, like anything else, and you can get better. And that's me. I wasn't born with this sort of thing, but I'm practicing it, and it's real. I'm still getting the hang of it, but it's real fascinating to have this ability and practice with it. But this opens up another question too, which is interesting. Is there anything that can maybe enhance or be a catalyst for quicker or faster or more automatic spiritual growth, or even something that can be passed down from one generation to the next? Is there a connection there, and what is it? So that I don't know. So that's another curious question to kind of think about and ponder for a while. But I just wanted to share that. So again, thank you so much, you guys, for watching and for the wonderful question too, of course. I love learning and sharing and dialogue and learning with you guys and from you guys too. So in the process, I really mean it and I appreciate it. So thanks again, and please take care, and we will see you in the next video. Thank you.